Hello, this is All StreamNet, and this is episode 2 of Kerbal Space Program. We are not going to do anything in the vehicle assembly building right now. If you remember, in the last episode, we did our first launch. We broke the atmosphere and returned safely, and we got enough science to get some rover parts. So, we are actually going to be in the spaceplane hangar, and we're going to be making ourselves a early game rover. Early game, it's we have this cockpit, so we're going to use that. We're going to see. I don't know if I have what I wanted for the science. We don't really. So we are going to be using a fuel tank, and it has to be liquid fuel. And that right there should be enough for what we want to do. And what we are going to do is we are going to put a barometric pressure. Let's actually do 2 of them, just so that way it's a little more sturdy. We need a mystery goo and a too hot thermometer. So we put those there, and they are also on the other side, so that way we have symmetry and everything is balanced. So now we need an engine. And we are going to do the Reliant. So this is a little unsafe to do it this way, but early in the game this is really the only way to do what we are about to do. So we need 2 of these. We want those to be up and down, pretty much straight up and down. That right there will not work. So that right there will work. And then we also want one out front. And we only want 1. So this is a 3-wheeled rover. And that right there, I don't really like that. Let's see if we can make it a little more. There we go. That is going to ride kind of low, but that's what we have. So this right here is your basic rocket rover, or your basic early game rover that I like to make. So I put this wheel out front so that way we can turn. We don't have the swivel on there. If we had the swivel on there, then the cup of the rocket would actually be what's turning us. We don't want communications. We don't need parachutes. We don't need any thermals. We don't need any aerodynamics. So I think that should be all we need. So this will be early rover. Let's call it early rocket rover. And that will be 1.0. So let's save that, and let's also go into the crew because we do not want Jeb doing anything on this. This is going to be for Bob. The reason for that is because Bob is a scientist. He can reset our experiments for us after he takes data, and we can get a lot of science off of one run rather than having only 2 of each of these for each run. So let's go ahead and save that again, and let's launch. Alright, and here we are on the runway. and it has just loaded in. We're bouncing a little bit. That's fine. It actually looks like the clearance isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So I don't know. I can't remember what all we did for these. So let's go ahead and just log the pressure data. We already did that one, so let's reset that experiment. I think we did the goo here as well. And let's go ahead and let's just reset that. That's only 0.7. As you can see, we are rolling. Let's go ahead and hit the brakes and then we stop. Okay, so yeah, we already did do those here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are actually going to turn the throttle down. We're going to turn it way down, like almost off. We're going to unset the brakes. And we are rolling. So we can turn. So what we are going to do is we're going to go to each of the buildings. Let's turn that off because we are rolling. So one of the things I've found is if you go too quick in this thing, it's real easy to crash. So I'm actually going to take that up to about 8.3. Usually about 8 is what I like. 10 is usually where bad stuff starts to happen, when you start going more than 10 meters a second. So it looked like it was about to tip, but that is just because of where that is the angle of the ground here. And there we go. So we are going to be going to all of these buildings. We're going to be getting the science. Bob is going to be getting out and taking all of the data and storing it in the pod and resetting all the experiments so they can be done multiple times. And we could probably get all of this science on one run. And I do kind of want to speed up, but I know what will happen if I do. So we're just going to head right for this building here. That is actually the vehicle assembly building that we put this thing together in. And against my better judgment, I just got a little bit more speed. And we do have one contract left in there. We will likely get to that today. Okay, so something fell off. Oh, that was the back end. Oh. Oh no. Okay, so we're going to get these pretty quick then. Okay, so a little bit of a change of plans here. So that side is done. So we do still have some speed. Our engine is gone. Our engine is completely gone. We kind of messed up a little bit on that one. So we're just gonna go over to the space hangar, the one where we assemble the actual rockets and the stuff that goes into the air. I think that's where we're gonna go. I think that's the closest, and yeah. Yeah, we'll go over to this and we'll take care of that one. And that'll at least get us some science. Sometimes bad stuff happens here. And let's turn a little bit. So we can do this on the go. Keep that, and then the too hot thermometer. We will log that. Then we put the brakes on, and hopefully nothing bad happens. We are stopped. So let's recover the vessel. We've got some. We got some science. We didn't get as much as I would have liked to, but we did get some. There we go. We got 18 science. We have a total of 20. And I think we can get something with that. So let's go into research and development and see what we can get here. That's 45. That's 45. I don't think we can get anything. That's 45 and that's 45. Okay. So we can't get anything right now, can we? I think even this stuff is more expensive. 90 and 90. Okay. So we are about halfway, almost halfway to getting one of these. So let's leave the facility for now. So we did get some science. Let's check and see what we can do here, if anything. Okay, we are going to do something like this. Okay, so this they want us to test it. So we not only have to have it, but we have to actually test it. So what we can do with this is we can do a liquid fuel to launch and get ourselves to in between this altitude, in between those speeds, and then drop that and test it. So let's go ahead and do that. So our 2 contracts right now. So we've got the flea, which is the one we just got, and then there's the hammer. So let's go ahead and do one of these. See, we don't need oxidizer though, do we? If we do... Oh... Okay, I see. Okay. So now I think we've got the problem pretty well underhand. Okay. So we put the thumpers on there. They should be right there. Perfect. Nothing is hitting. Okay. Go into the aerodynamics, grab some nose cones. Okay, that is exactly what I want. Okay, so let's take those. That right there should be about where we want it then. So I think we finally have it. So let's save that and launch. And I completely forgot that liquid fuel needs to have oxidizer. So now that we actually have oxidizer in these fuel tanks for our second engine, we should be good to go. So we throw that all the way up, turn on the RCS, turn on the SAS. Let's launch. Okay, we're going to throw ourselves over just a little bit. So the speed will not be the issue. It will just be the altitude. So we're already going too fast, but we can always slow it down. So right now, let's check our map, see where the apoapsis is at. It's at 49. That is way above where we need it to be. So let's throw ourselves over like this. That right there is about where I want to be. And we're going to be slowing down enough. There we go, everything is there. So, let's run the test and we're good. There we go, that test is done. So we decouple that. So you can see where this one for the hammer is going to be a little bit iffy. Let's speed up a little bit. We're not going to break atmosphere. But let's go ahead and turn retrograde so that way our heat shield is pointing the proper way. And there we go, we're now falling. So we are definitely going to be going fast enough to take that. Let's see if there's a crew report from up here. There is not. We now have one. So let's speed up a little bit. Okay, we are now heating up. And because we are hitting that atmosphere, our surface speed goes down. Okay, so it is now safe for us to deploy the parachute. Excuse me. And now Jeb just sits around and waits. We can also get rid of the heat shield. And let's hope that doesn't come down and crash into us. I don't think it will, though. I think I released it good enough. And that right there is Moon. You can see Moon back there. We are eventually going to get there. And that sound that you just heard was the heat shield hitting the water. So we are safe. And Jeb gets lowered safely down into the water. Maybe. And there we go. Jeb is safe. I don't think... Did we have a crew report here? I think we may have had one. Oh, I don't want to cancel that. Let's do this, though. Because he can EVA. There's Jeb. So he should be able to do an EVA report, and he can. And then we board. And we recover the vessel. And with that, we got 7.8 science. We got a crew report from the upper atmosphere, and the EVA report from Kerbal water. We did get some parts back. Jeb is ready for the next assignment. So let's see if that gave us anything else here. So that gave us a little bit. That didn't give us really anything that we need. But let's go ahead and we're going to end this episode in just a minute. We're going to go out to there in our nice little rocket rover. So we open. That one right there. Let's load it. And let's actually see. Is the swivel smaller? They are the same size. And do we have electrical? We do not. Okay. So this right here is basically what we have to go with. And again, Bob, our scientist, is the driver. So we save, we launch. And we actually had something, what was it? Okay, yeah, that one there for the completion. Okay, so we have no contract that we're going to do with this. And again, we are slightly rolling. Let's turn that all the way down and take it up one notch. There we go. Let's turn just a little and take it back down. There we go, look at that. So we got that done safely. Whoop. It's like we're skating. Okay, so we are going over to this thing over here. It is a little monument. And we can also get science from over here as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And then that will be the end of our episode. And maybe we can get enough science from over here. I'm actually going to see if we can get anything along the way. And it looks like we can. So we might be able to unlock something at the end of this. Okay, so this side over here is the side that we're going to do when we get to this little monument. And I will also take Bob out and we're going to have a look at this thing. And I think we have packed entirely too much fuel. And we are almost there. Turn the brakes on and slide into it. Look at that. That's some good driving by Bob. So there's the monument. Let's go ahead and get our experiments from over here. got our thermometer. Let's do a crew report. And Bob should be getting out over here. Do an EVA report. And then we board. I would have gotten out, but I don't know if I would have been able to get him back in without a ladder, which we have not unlocked yet. So let's go back and recover the vessel. So we should be getting all that science. And that puts us right at 45 science, so we can unlock something. So let's go into the research and development, and the basic science will give us a science junior, which we need. It will also give us an antenna, so we can do short range communications. It will also give us the Probodobodine Staputnik, which is a non-manned. What is it? It is a. It helps us. It lets us do unmanned missions, but it's not really very efficient. We also have batteries. We don't have solar panels, though. And I think that is actually going to be the one. Actually, the one I am going to do. Wow, I don't know what I want to do. I'm thinking the basic science because that does give us the science junior. So now we have that. The next ones we can unlock are any of these three, or we can do aerodynamics, which gives us a lot of stuff for airplanes. We could do landing, which gives us another landing gear, gives us a bigger parachute and a bigger heat shield. Will also give us some landing struts and a launch escape system. Space exploration gives us the hitchhiker storage container, which can 4 people. It will also give us the a ladder, or a mobility enhancer as they call it, and it will also give us rover wheels. So that one right there will also be a good one to get because I do like my rovers. Miniaturization gives us some smaller stuff to adapt to even smaller stuff. And then electrics, which gives us our first solar panel. And it gives us some smaller batteries. It also gives us 2 different lights. And then that gives us the Probodobodine OKTO, which is another unmanned thing for the missions. And this is the one that I like because it seems like it's a little bit better. It seems like it's more controllable. So for me, that one is the way to go. But that is the end of episode 2. And yeah, I hope you guys had fun. And come back for episode 3. And thank you for watching. My name is I'll Stream That.